Everyone loves bulking. It's like a free pass to eat whatever you want. Pizza, fries, nachos, cake, and cookies. It's easy. You literally eat until you can't eat anymore. However, what often happens is that after the bulk, you're unhappy with what you see in the mirror. You gain too much fat and not enough muscle. Here are 10 diet tips to add muscle and bulk up without gaining too much fat. Bulking and counting calories. Most people assume you only want to count calories if you want to lose weight. Wrong. If you want to gain muscle without gaining too much fat, you still need to count calories. Why? Because adding muscle takes time. In fact, it takes a lot more time to build muscle than it does to add fat. Thus, if you eat too many calories, the majority of those calories will go toward the creation of fat, not muscle. So, the goal is to consume slightly more calories than you burn, so you have enough energy to make more muscle, but not so much that you're storing a lot of it as fat. Remember, fat is nothing more than stored calories. Just because you're lifting weights and eating a lot of food does not mean that all of those calories will be used toward the creation of muscle. So, how much should you be eating? There are various formulas on the internet to calculate how much you'll need to eat to bulk, but the easiest one we found, which also works really well, is the one Precision Nutrition recommends. Simply take your body weight in pounds and multiply it by 16. So, a 200-pound person would consume 3,200 calories daily. The goal is to gain 1 to 2 pounds per week. Any more than that, and you're probably adding primarily fat. Any less than that, and you probably are not maximizing your growth potential. Adjust it by 500 calories daily to hit your targets. So, if you didn't gain at least 1 to 2 pounds after week 1, then add 500 calories to each day and reweigh yourself after a week. If you've gained more than 1 to 2 pounds after week 1, then reduce your daily calories by 500 and reweigh yourself after a week. Bulking isn't just about feeding your face until it's stuffed. It should be strategic and organized if you want to be happy with the new weight you've gained. And that strategy and organization starts with keeping track of your calories and making the necessary adjustments. Bulking and protein. Obviously, muscle is made of protein. Thus, if you don't consume enough protein daily, you aren't maximizing your potential for muscle growth because unlike fat and carbohydrates, the body cannot store protein. But here's the oddity. When bulking, you actually need less protein per pound of body weight than when dieting. Why? Because, as mentioned above, your body cannot store protein. So, when you're dieting and eating less calories than you're burning, if you're not consuming enough protein daily, your body will begin to break down muscle tissue for amino acids for other important functions they're used for by the body. So, you prevent that by eating plenty of protein so that the body can use the amino acids you consume for those functions, as opposed to getting them from your muscle. With bulking, you don't have that problem because you're consuming more calories than you are burning, and thus you are in a calorie surplus. As long as you eat a moderate amount of protein, you will supply your body with enough amino acids to build new muscle. Thus, the goal is to eat between 0.75 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. A 200-pound person would consume between 150 to 200 grams of protein daily while bulking. Bulking and carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are also important when bulking. For one, most people have an easy time finding enough carbohydrates to eat, so they're an easy way to add extra calories if you are having trouble hitting your caloric goal. Cookies, cakes, chips, fruits, and pasta are all sources of carbohydrates most people enjoy eating. Secondly, if you are lifting weights while bulking, your muscles will need carbohydrates for fuel. In fact, if you burn through all of your carbohydrate storage, glycogen, during a workout and do not eat enough to replace them, then you will actually impair your body's ability to repair and rebuild your muscles. While most of the focus on muscle growth is on protein, carbohydrates are also important. Consume anywhere from 2 to 3 grams of carbohydrates per pound of body weight. For a 200-pound person, that would be anywhere from 400 to 600 grams of carbohydrates per day. Bulking and fats. Most people don't have a problem with consuming too little fats while bulking. However, every once in a while, you will see someone on an extremely high carbohydrate/low-fat diet, which puts them at a disadvantage when bulking. For one, your hormones like testosterone are made from fats. Low-fat diets have been shown to reduce hormone levels. Secondly, because fats have 9 calories per gram, while protein and carbohydrates have only 4 calories per gram, fats are extremely efficient at adding extra calories to your diet. A single tablespoon of olive oil has 120 calories. Your goal should be to eat about 0.5 to 0.75 grams of fat per pound of body weight. So, a 200-pound person would consume between 100 to 150 grams of fat daily. Bulking and protein shakes. If you're struggling eating enough protein and/or calories daily, one of the easiest tricks to increase both is to add a few protein shakes to your day. Adding a single scoop of protein in a glass of whole milk is a really easy way to add over 40 grams of protein and 400 calories. Best of all, because it's liquid, it's not as filling as if you'd eat a steak with 40 grams of protein, so that you'll be hungry again in just a few hours. If you work long hours or have an erratic schedule, protein shakes are also extremely convenient. You can bring them to your office and your car and even to the gym. And if you're having trouble eating enough calories, you can add fruit, peanut butter, and/or avocados to your protein shake. Before you know it, your shake will have over 700 calories in it. Bulking and your eating schedule. If you're skinny and have trouble gaining weight, then one of the easiest things that you can do is set a timer to remind you to eat every 2 to 3 hours. Of course, it doesn't have to be meals. Snacks will also work. What happens with a lot of skinny guys is that they will eat 1 or 2 really big meals a day, and that's it. They assume that they are eating more than enough calories, but when they actually calculate their caloric intake, it is only around 2,000 calories because they literally only ate twice. Plus, one of the major problems people have with bulking is that they get way too stuffed and cannot force themselves to eat more calories. By eating smaller, more frequent meals, they avoid that feeling of extreme fullness and find it easy to hit their calorie goals for the day. The easiest way to accomplish this is to set a timer on your phone that goes off every 2 to 3 hours. Have a list of high-calorie snacks ready to go. Bulking and breakfast. When most people hear the word breakfast, they automatically assume we are talking about dieting because over and over again, you hear how it is the most important meal of the day. However, breakfast is just as important when bulking because it's a quick, easy way to get a jump start on your caloric goals. As mentioned earlier, many skinny guys have trouble gaining weight because they only eat once or twice per day. The meal they most always skip is breakfast. Don't. 3 or 4 eggs with cheese, a few pieces of toast with butter, and a glass of milk can easily add 1,000 calories. And if you don't like to eat when you first get up, make a protein shake instead. A scoop of protein and 8 to 12 ounces of milk is an easy 40 to 50 grams of protein and 500 calories without giving you that sense of fullness. Bulking before bed. Another bulking tip that's extremely easy to incorporate into your daily routine is adding a protein shake right before you go to bed. It literally takes just a few seconds to make, and you don't have to worry about getting too full because you'll be falling asleep soon. Plus, it helps minimize the lack of calories you'll get during your 8-hour fast while sleeping. By the time you wake up in the next morning, you'll be ready to eat again. Adding 1 to 2 scoops of protein powder, a few tablespoons of peanut butter, and 8 ounces of whole milk into a big glass is a classic bulking shake that will easily add 800 calories without making you feel too stuffed to fall asleep. Bulking and milk. Talk to any old school bodybuilder or powerlifter and they will all say a staple in their bulking programs is milk. Depending on how much weight they needed to gain, they would go through gallons of milk each day. It is the perfect bulk food, calorie dense, easy to drink, quick to make, and convenient to carry around with you. 1 cup of whole milk contains 150 calories, 8 grams of fat, 12 grams of carbohydrates, and 8 grams of high-quality protein. It is the perfect blend of macronutrients to help you gain weight. Better yet, it's also easy to drink 3 or 4 glasses. And if you really need to add extra calories, then you can add some cookies, and that little snack would total over 1,000 calories. Bulking and peanut butter. Another bulking staple of bodybuilders and powerlifters is peanut butter. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, which isn't much at all, contains 188 calories, 16 grams of fat, and 8 grams of protein. Of course, it's hard to eat peanut butter by just itself, so it's an easy way to become a complete snack. Turn it into a peanut butter sandwich or add some crackers, and it can easily total 800 calories or more. Bonus. This isn't a bulking tip related to dieting, but it will help you make bulking much easier because many skinny guys make this mistake in the gym. Do not train more than 3 to 4 times per week in the gym. Keep your workouts to an hour or less. Here's why. For one, studies have shown that after about an hour of hard training, the body begins entering a catabolic state, meaning that it is not an optimal environment for building muscle. Thus, most trainers recommend 45 to 60-minute sessions to keep your hormones optimized. Secondly, remember that training burns calories. Thus, the more training that you do, the more calories you will burn. The more calories that you burn, the more calories you have to eat to gain weight. So, there becomes a point in your training in that what you are doing in the weight room is hurting your goals. 3 to 4 workouts per week is more than enough to stimulate muscle growth and help you gain weight, especially if you focus on the big exercises such as the squat, bench press, deadlift, and chin up. Even though most people don't find bulking too hard to do, many of those that do bulk are not happy with their results because they gain too much fat and not enough muscle. Don't make that mistake. Use the 10 tips described above to help put you in a calorie surplus without going too far over, causing you to gain a bunch of fat.